Hey everyone. In the first part of our Paris trip, we got straight to the point, straight to the Eiffel Tower. Photos, poses, romance, and even an attempt to eat the iron structure with our eyes. A guy selling souvenirs even helped us out, and for a normal price. In Paris, a miracle. Today, the journey continues. We'll check out the Louvre, but only from the outside, because getting in would probably take 3 hours. Take a stroll down the Champs-Élysées, and end the day at Notre-Dame. So get comfortable, pour yourself a coffee, and let's go. We've arrived at the Louvre, the largest museum in the world, with more art than in all the school notebooks combined. And even though we're only checking it out from the outside today, because the line to get in looked like the final round of Who Gives Up First, there's still plenty to admire. That iconic glass pyramid in the middle of the courtyard? It was once a huge controversy. Built in the 1980s, many Parisians were outraged that such a modern structure disrupted the classical look of the palace. Today, we can't imagine the Louvre without it. And skipping a selfie with it? That's borderline cultural blasphemy. And did you know the Louvre wasn't always a museum? It used to be a royal palace, and before that, a fortress. It was built by King Philip II in the 12th century to defend Paris from invaders. Though back then, he probably didn't expect the invaders would be tourists with cameras and fanny packs. One more fun fact. Some say there are secret tunnels beneath the Louvre, once used to connect the royal palace with other parts of the city. Who knows, maybe the ghost of an old guard still wanders down there looking for an exit. But we won't be getting lost in there today. Instead, we're off to discover more of Paris. Next stop, the famous Champs-Élysées. We've arrived at the Champs-Élysées, a street so famous its name alone sounds like something you'd order off a luxury restaurant menu. This iconic avenue stretches almost 2 kilometers, connecting Place de la Concorde to the legendary Arc de Triomphe. But don't worry, with all the shops, cafes, and waves of tourists, it'll feel more like 5. The name Champs-Élysées translates to Elysian Fields. In Greek mythology, the place where heroes go after death. These days, it's more like the place where wallets go to die, especially after you pay €8 for a coffee. But this street has serious history. It began in the 17th century as a simple tree-lined alley. Over time, it evolved into Paris's most prestigious boulevard. Today, you'll find everything here, from luxury fashion brands and fast food to military parades on Bastille Day, July 14th. And since we're here, we're also taking a look at the Arc de Triomphe, built by Napoleon to celebrate his victories. To this day, it stands proud and majestic, and doubles as a challenge for anyone brave enough to cross the world's craziest roundabout without losing their sanity. So take a deep breath of perfume, baguettes, and slightly burnt espresso, and welcome to the most famous street in France. Based on what people say about the French on the internet, you'd think they're pretty explosive. Supposedly, one wrong look and the insults start flying, along with a few baguettes. But if that were true, do you really think they'd survive a roundabout like this without honking? I stood there for a good 30 minutes, watching the traffic carnival of cars, scooters, bikes, and tourists. And nothing. No honking, no shouting, no wild gestures out the window. Just quiet, almost poetic movement, as if all the vehicles magically understood each other. And there I was, expecting traffic hell, and instead, I got a French roundabout ballet. So maybe they're not explosive. Maybe they're just passionate with a pinch of self-control. Or maybe they save their daily dose of rage strictly for political debates and overpriced espresso. And speaking of legends, We couldn't skip the place where more than just the wheel of fate is spinning. Moulin Rouge. That red windmill on the roof? It's not a bakery, as some folks from the countryside might think. It's the most famous cabaret in the world. For over 130 years, it's been mixing dance, music, theater, and a hint of provocation into one sparkling Parisian cocktail. Founded in 1889, yes, the same year as the Eiffel Tower, it quickly became a symbol of Parisian nightlife. This is the birthplace of the iconic can-can dance. And yes, if you're picturing high kicks and skirts revealing more than just ankles, you're definitely in the right place. Moulin Rouge has inspired painters, poets, filmmakers, and even a few confused tourists who thought they were heading in for brunch. Today, it's a place where nostalgia meets neon, history meets music, and every night proves that Paris isn't just romantic. It can get pretty wild, too. And now we arrive at one of the most iconic symbols of Paris, Notre-Dame Cathedral. It has stood here since the 12th century, built as a place of faith, power, and an architectural marvel of its time. And even if you're not a fan of Gothic style, just one look at its towers and stained glass windows is enough to make you stop and stare. This cathedral has witnessed coronations, revolutions, Napoleon's ambitions, and millions of tourists trying to photograph it from the most bizarre angles imaginable. Inside, you'll find everything you expect from the word cathedral: towering ceilings, stunning windows, the scent of ancient stone, and a silence that feels almost magical. And maybe, if you listen closely, you'll hear the echo of the legendary bell ringer, Quasimodo. But Notre Dame has suffered greatly, especially in 2019, when a devastating fire engulfed its roof, spire, and a piece of our shared history. It felt as if Paris itself was burning. Today, however, it is rising from the ashes. After years of restoration, it has once again reopened to the public, and the crowds are returning. Some out of curiosity, others out of reverence, and some, like us, to remember that beauty can be rebuilt, even after the hardest trials. So step inside with us, into a place where history, art, and silence come together in a 1,000-year-old French story. And now we step inside, into a place where time seems to stand still. With each step, we sink deeper into a silence shaped by centuries. Walls that have witnessed revolutions, fires, and the prayers of countless generations. Stone pillars rise like ancient trees, bearing not just the weight of the roof, but the weight of history itself. Our camera will show you what the eyes behold in awe and the soul feels with reverence. The majestic Gothic vaults, seemingly endless, stretching towards the heavens. The stained glass windows, pouring in rays of colored light like painted dreams. The candles, flickering quietly in the chapels, tiny, wordless prayers. We captured even the smallest details, stone carvings of saints, angels, and even demons who, in medieval belief, were just as much a part of the spiritual world. And then, that perfect moment, when light filters through the glass and hits the stone floor, creating an image that lasts only seconds and never repeats the same way again. But this experience is not only about what you see, it's about what you feel. A sense of peace, of reverence, of stillness. The feeling that something greater than us was here long before we came and will remain long after we're gone. This is Notre Dame from the inside. Not as a tourist stop, but as a living experience, a reminder that beauty can be silent, and that history speaks loudest when we finally slow down to listen. And that's the end of our Paris journey for today. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, or share it with someone who'd love to experience a little piece of Paris, even if just through a screen. Let me know in the comments which place caught your eye the most, or what you'd like to see next. Maybe a museum, maybe a castle, or maybe something completely unexpected. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, because this won't be our last adventure. Paris was just the beginning. See you on the next trip. And until then, keep your hats on and your cameras ready.
Every curve feels just so right. It's not the car, it's the feeling inside. Speed and love, let's take the ride. Speed, love, and the open road. Burning rubber where the stories unfold. Racing hearts and the thrill of the chase. Freedom and passion in this endless race. The highway sings a song of steel. Every mile makes the world feel real. Adrenaline flows, we're flying free. Just the road, the car, and you with me. The dashboard lights are glowing bright as we're tearing through the velvet night. Faster, higher, no looking back. Love and speed on this endless track. Speed, love, and the open road. Burning rubber where the stories unfold. Racing hearts and the thrill of the chase. Freedom and passion in this endless race. The rush of the tires, the pulse of the drive. This is the moment we feel alive. No boundaries here, no chains to bind. On this open road, it's love we'll find. Speed, love, and the open road. Burning rubber where the stories unfold. Racing hearts and the thrill of the chase. Freedom and passion in this endless race. So take my hand, let's never slow into the